Tonight on KGW News, hanging out the window and speeding down the shoulder. Why the joy rides are over for a reckless driver, authorities say, who wanted to go viral.
We can't just get away with things anymore.
Plus, a big explosion sends shrapnel flying. Why the driver of this bus is being hailed a hero. Then,
if you want to keep walking, don't do it.
it's sold over the counter in colorful cans, and it changed this couple's lives forever. KGW investigates the growing dangers of laughing gas and new efforts to keep it bottled up. And later, a small town lifeline returns bigger and brighter, proving it's much more than a store.
This is family. It's family.
Welcome to the news and welcome to the weekend. David Molko here with you as we take a live look outside on what has been a glorious Friday and really just a beautiful week. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Chris McGinnis. And Chris says all good things must come to an end.
I'll take the promotion.
Yeah, I know, right there. Little slip of the tongue. All good things must come to an end, including your promotion there, meteorologist Chris McGinnis.
Right.
We know showers are inbound.
That'll be back next week.
Yeah,
For that,
walk us
I'm
through
going to
the
rain on
timing
your
here.
weekend, David
He's
Molko.
going to keep talking tonight.
Yes, there is some rain coming our way, so let's get right to it here. Satellite radar loop showing cloud cover offshore, rain offshore as well. It is, as we expected, steadily marching our way. It will be moving in overnight, which means it will probably be moving out before most of you get out of bed tomorrow morning. What a day today, by the way. As David mentioned, 79 degrees was the high in Portland this afternoon. Not a record, but well above average for this time of the year. Most of the I-5 corridor well into the 70s, Eastern Oregon into the upper 60s in many locations. That warmth is fleeting, but for right now, it's 60 degrees. The freezing level, by the way, was all the way up over 11,000 feet. All right, here's the deets on tomorrow. Early rain, and I mean early. It's probably going to be out of the Portland metro area by between 7 and 9 a.m. And then we look for clearing tomorrow afternoon. But note the temperature, much, much cooler. And that's probably the bigger story. We go from 79 today to 64, a little breezy tomorrow as well. Easter Sunday will be cooler still. It will be a pretty cloudy day, and I do think we're still going to have a few spits of rain with highs only in the 50s. So we're talking about a 25-degree temperature swing here over the next 36 hours. So a little shock to the system, but not a bad weekend forecast. Just a little bit of rain here and there. I'll walk you through that with Futurecast and have a look ahead to the next round of 70s in my 7-day in just a few minutes.
You know, I know you're so used to mornings. I think someone forgot to tell you not to have coffee before the 11 o'clock.
That's the only way I made it this far, man.
Oh, it's so good to have you tonight. Thanks, Chris. We'll see you in a few. Well, new tonight, a man who's been posting videos of himself driving on the shoulder of highways, hanging out his window, and going off-road through parks has finally been arrested. His videos like these have spread quickly online over the last few weeks, with many of you reaching out concerned he was going to hurt someone. Well, tonight we learned it was actually the driver himself who called police to report someone else had sideswiped him. You cannot make this up. Catherine Cook talked with witnesses who saw the whole thing unfold. Catherine?
David, there are so many layers to this story. The guy police arrested today is a victim in one sense, but he's also accused of doing some really dangerous, reckless things behind the wheel. And police had been looking for him for weeks.
The guy driving this truck is Oscar Burrell Jr. For weeks, police say he's been posting these videos of himself on social media, driving recklessly and pulling other dangerous stunts like driving through this park.
When I watched the videos, I was shocked that he didn't crash.
PPB's traffic division launched an investigation and arrested Burrell Friday morning after police say he called them.
He called 911 saying that he was the victim of a hit and run.
It happened near Southeast 37th and Hawthorne.
He stopped in the middle of the road, basically double parked.
Nick Brown owns Nick's famous Coney Island across the street. He says Burrell went into this resale store to drop off some clothes. The sign on Burrell's truck tells drivers to go around.
Another guy pulled up behind him, got angry about that. The guy behind him went and just grabbed his keys out of his truck and left.
As we're checking him in, he notices that somebody's going into his truck, so he runs out to kind of like fight him off.
Levi Lovato works at the resale store. He says Burrell is a regular here and watched as he tried to get his keys back from the guy.
He chases him down to his truck and starts beating on the window, and then goes back over to his truck and then kind of gets sideswiped as the other guy was leaving.
This security image shows the truck Lovato says swiped Burrell.
They are still investigating the hit and run that he's reporting, but because of the fact that we had probable cause to arrest him for his crimes, he was taken into custody.
Police towed Burrell's truck as evidence. He was booked on reckless driving, first-degree criminal mischief, and recklessly endangering another person. Despite all of that, Burrell's friend, Michael Stewart, says he's a good guy.
And he stands up for anyone who's focused or dealing with any type of trauma or trouble within his vicinity.
But police say their biggest concern is public safety.
When you're hanging out of a moving vehicle on the freeway, if you're in a crash, I mean, that's almost for sure going to be a fatality.
From jail tonight and awaiting a court date. The police are still investigating the case. They're asking anyone who witnessed Burrell's stunts, especially if they have dash cam video, to reach out to them. David.
Absolutely wild, including how it came to an end there. Thanks, Catherine. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines, Portland police will be out in full force this weekend looking for street racers. PPB say they got a tip about 2 planned street takeover events that are expected to draw people from around the region. Police warn under Oregon law, cars used in illegal street racing may be forfeited and drivers can face hefty fines and jail time. No word on exactly where the racers plan to show up. Police also say they are preparing for another large protest and march on Saturday downtown. Multiple groups have posted on social media urging people to gather late tomorrow morning at Pioneer Courthouse Square to protest the Trump administration's actions. You might remember 2 weeks ago, thousands attended a similar protest in March. Police say so-called dialogue officers have reached out to organizers about their plans and will be on site tomorrow. If you plan to drive downtown, expect some disruptions. And we now know the names of 2 of the people killed, the 2 people killed in a mass shooting on the Florida State campus. They've been identified as 57-year-old Robert Morales, who is FSU's dining coordinator, and 45-year-old Tidu Chaba, a father of 2 who worked for a campus vendor. The alleged shooter, the son of a sheriff's deputy, is in custody. Police have not identified a motive. Some former classmates of the 20-year-old suspect say he was kicked out of a political discussion group over far-right and white supremacist views. Officials say the 6 people injured should all make a full recovery. Back in the Northwest tonight, we're hearing from concerned parents at Silverton High School after the district canceled classes out of an abundance of caution because of a threat that was made on Thursday. It's at least the 2nd threat in less than a week. Last Friday, reports of a possible shooter on campus prompted a lockdown as officers swept the school 1 classroom at a time. Parents we talked to say it is frustrating, though they understand the district's decision.
I think being a parent, in the pit of my stomach, it just takes you back to last week. Like it's unsettling, but like I said, I think there's something in staying calm and not borrowing worry and not giving in to those threats. Like that is not this community.
Silverton police say the swatting threats today were isolated to the high school. Officers are still investigating. Tonight, a KGW investigation into nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas, with health officials sounding the alarm following a spike in dangerous incidents. That includes a young Gresham couple who became addicted and were left temporarily paralyzed. Investigative reporter Kyla Boshi has their story.
Life was filled with adventure for Vito Oliveri and his fiancée Emily Shuford. The young couple loved to explore new places and outdoor experiences.
We would go to Vegas and Phoenix and California,
Arizona, Bend a lot.
But these days, just getting around their Gresham home is a journey.
Yeah, it's a lot different, for sure.
They have trouble with strength and balance due to nerve damage caused by inhaling nitrous oxide, also known as laughing gas.
I completely lost it and I couldn't walk. I had to physically learn how to walk again.
Nitrous oxide is commonly used as a sedative in medicine and in the kitchen to make whipped cream. For years, people have inhaled the small canisters of whippets to get a brief high.
They call it like hippie crack.
Recently, health officials have become increasingly concerned about nitrous oxide and its potential harm. In mid-March, the FDA warned intentional misuse of nitrous oxide can lead to serious adverse health effects, including death. Data from the Oregon Poison Center shows a spike in cases from 15 calls in 2023 to 56 last year.
The increased
use is being seen very prominently among young people, so ages 20 to 40, but particularly 20 to 29.
Dr. Courtney Temple, an assistant professor of emergency medicine at OHSU, believes this surge in cases could be linked to social media, increased availability, and creative marketing.
Well, the packaging now has become very bright, very colorful.
We found several smoke shops in the Portland area selling large canisters of nitrous oxide. There's Space Gas and Miami Magic. The gas comes in fruity flavors like Juicy Peach, Cosmic Grape, and Watermelon Eclipse.
It seems like the marketing of the product has definitely changed to like a younger crowd.
Vito explains initially he and Emily started by inhaling whippets. They liked the euphoric effect. But as their addiction grew, they turned to larger cylinders of gas that were delivered to their home.
I've never really been addicted to something, and this thing really got a hold of us.
In April of 2022, Vito started showing signs of nerve damage from prolonged use of nitrous oxide. His legs started to shake.
The first thing I noticed was tingling, like in my toes, pins and needles.
Emily had similar symptoms.
I got the tightness like in my ankles.
They'd both be hospitalized. Doctors explained that the nitrous oxide created a vitamin B12 deficiency, which left them both temporarily paralyzed.
If you want to keep walking, don't do it.
The Oregon legislature is considering a bill that would require age verification to make sure anyone buying nitrous oxide is at least 18 years old.
Really, all we're trying to do is make sure that kids aren't able to easily access this.
Other cities and states across the country have passed laws restricting access. Last year, Louisiana became the first state to ban the sale of nitrous oxide to the general public.
And you can see the canister that's here before you. That would be over 22,000 servings of whipped cream.
It's not a safe way to, get high or whatever.
Vito and Emily hope others learn from their experience. These brightly colored canisters are nothing to laugh at.
I would just go as far to say I just don't even think it should be regulated. I think it should be completely banned.
This young couple has come to realize life may never be the same. Long hikes and outdoor adventures have been replaced with physical therapy as they try to recover from the harmful effects of nitrous oxide. That bill in the Oregon legislature requiring age verification to purchase nitrous oxide cleared the House and is now in the Senate. The bill's sponsor admits it's a starting point. She wishes there could be stricter rules surrounding the sale of nitrous oxide. Kyle Aboshi, KGW News.
Well, meanwhile, another bill working its way through the Oregon legislature would limit the number of bills lawmakers can introduce. Yeah, you got that right. We got a chance today to talk to one of the bill's sponsors, House Speaker Julie Fahey. She says the bill, again, restricting the number of bills would make it easier for people to give their input on topics. It turns out this session set a new record with roughly 3,400 bills filed under this proposal. Lawmakers, and there are 90 of them, would be limited to 25 each per session.
So I really want to be able to, the legislature, to focus on a more limited set of bills so that we can both, make thoughtful public policy and have robust feedback from the public.
Okay, for context, the speaker says about 700 bills made their way through the process in the last long session.